Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. As we wrap this up with a philosophical New Year's Eve, calm conversation, and we think about what we went through for the year, where we're going, how we got here. Is it a bubble? No, I'm serious. Little love tap. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. It's been a very interesting year, everybody. It's been one of the most memorable, iconic years in modern Magic history. The share is being downgraded to 9.0 condition by BGS. Now remember, I'll send this for regrading next month. It'll come back at 10 anyways, because... Is their CEO still in jail? No, he's back? Oh, no, he's still in jail. Ugh. Okay, maybe it'll be a 9.5. Hope you're all having a good day. Today we have a Christmas Eve conversation as I wrap up this year, finish doing inventory, and have a nice conversation with you all. And of course, the news swirling around the card world is Pokemon Prismatic Evolutions and all this craziness, and then the world in the news in the Magic world. Obviously, Kaladesh is racist. Collector boxes are impossible to get. Bronze Era Magic and New Magic and collector boxes are all in this great bull market bubble, right? The world of One Piece is obsessed with the new Emperor OP09 set. I don't have any of that. That's all gone. I've been buying the other One Piece that nobody wants. And we're in this very interesting end of the year moment. All the card games are doing well. And it looks like we have good groundwork and framework for a very successful 2025. The United States elections are over with and gone. Some people are happy. Some people are angry. But the market has been very happy ever since, and prices have gone up ever since we jumped over that hurdle. And everything from the stock market to Bitcoin to collectibles have been on a continuous run. That is just what's happening. Now, a lot of you all are messaging me, getting concerned that New Magic is going to be the next big bubble. And I'd like to have a little follow-up conversation with you all. Let's start today's video on this Bronze Era Magic buyout and New Magic post-2020 collector box buyout. Yes, if you haven't heard the news, we have more collector boxes hitting all-time high. Ravnica Remastered is now cracking $400 before tax on TCG Player. Fallout collector boxes are now approaching $1,000 a collector box. I think they're at $850 plus tax, so about $940 now. And people are asking me, Rudy, is this big buyout bubble going to pop? And what about all this Bronze Era Magic from 2010 to 2019? Or I think it's 2011 or 2012. I don't know the exact... Whatever the year that Gatecrash Return to Ravnica... Return to Ravnica, I think, was first in the block. So whatever year Return to Ravnica came out, was it 2011? So there's a lot of chatter on that. And I'm going to give you all my opinion. For those of you who don't want to stick around and you want to enjoy your holidays and have a Merry Christmas with your family and a Happy Hanukkah, and don't forget, Festivus for the rest of us. I can tell you this. All data points that I'm obsessed with and I've been watching on a weekly basis for the last 10 to 20 years show me that there's absolutely zero bubble in Bronze Era sealed Magic the Gathering products. All data that I've been following for the last 10, 20 years on a weekly basis shows there's absolutely zero bull market in Bronze Era single cards in the modern boxes. So to say that in a less kind of wordy method, the cards inside all these sealed boxes from 2011 to 2019, there is no evidence of those cards going up or a bull market of the singles inside these cards. Most of them are modern era cards. Some are Pioneer era cards. Some are Commander EDH style cards. Some are just, I don't know what other format. Pauper for commons. I don't know. Is that a thing still? I don't know if it's still a thing. Game Piece Army, are you alive? Game Piece Army got wrecked in this bull market. So that's where it's at. don't forget to buy a t-shirt. eBay link below. I think we've sold 1,200 shirts in the last couple days. And I think that we have 600 shirts left, 700 shirts. So if you want to support me and I can make $2 to $8 off you profit, please buy a t-shirt. The back of the shirts, the front is the same. The back is the 2024 version. That says that you stayed the course and it was beautiful and you realize that that is the correct thing to do in this world. So back to the bronze stuff. I don't think this repricing is a bubble. I don't think it's really being manipulated. I think this is a classic example of none of these boxes should have been as cheap as what they were. That's really the entire conversation. Being completely honest with you guys. I don't think there's really, like, how do I say this? People are acting, see, we have boxes. Let's pick on Shadows of Innistrad, Eldritch Moon, Kaladesh, now Aether Revolt, I guess it's 300, it's doubled also. Like any of the, in Battle for Zen, Oath of the Gate, like these boxes should not have been 8 years old selling for $120. That's the problem. But everybody was been so negative for so long, all of a sudden, Wizards of the Coast sparked this, in my opinion, with the Kaladesh situation and the unbanning, which, had side effects from the Vault and Scars and Mirrored in it. You had all these side effects. I think they sparked it. Spark, War of the Spark. But in reality, this isn't really, it doesn't fit any characteristics or definitions of a bubble. And it frustrates people because none of this stuff is linear. The human mind is drawn towards items that drift up in value. You want to buy a stock or a piece of property or a sealed box of Pokemon or One Piece or Magic or whatever the fuck you want to buy. You want to buy a box of cards that every time you check it, every few weeks, it goes up a little bit and it feels good. It gives you a good feedback loop. It gives you that nice little, not crazy, not like Rudy giving you a mouth hug. It gives you a nice, calm, like a small hit of dopamine. It gives you a nice, it kind of cradles your third, I don't want to go there. It gives you a nice little positive, dopamine hit. And when you have a box of Magic, like, I don't even know, let's pick on, I don't know what we're going to pick on today. Aether Revolt or Battle for Zen, or when you have a box of Magic that's $100 or $120, and you've had it for 5 years, and that box you bought from Rudy, 6 years ago as a patron, and you paid $80 for me, okay, and on that one box, it's been 8 years, and the $80 box that I sold you, Hopes and Dreams box, is $120. Honestly, yeah, it went up 50% in raw numbers. You adjust for shipping and fees or inflation or anything. Honestly, what'd you get? 4% a year? 6% a year? I guess it's still not that bad. Well, pretend it's bad. Well, shit, that's still actually pretty good. 50% return in 8 years. I guess that's still about 6 to 9% a year. That's still within the range of the goal. Well, fuck, I didn't plan that out in the video. Anyways, but it doesn't feel good. When a box stays at $120 for 5 years in a row, you feel like a Timmy and you feel like you got bamboozled by my stepsister or Rudy kind of, you prancer-sized in Central Park and Rudy gave you an inappropriate hug and you feel weird about it. And you're just like, and even though 8 years have passed and that $120 box just jumped to $300, the kicker is you still feel like shit. That's the thing. Like right now, unlike the reserve list buyouts and everything we went through in 2017 and 2018, which again was sparked because new Magic was garbage. Amonkhet was garbage. Ixalan was garbage. All the master sets, Iconic Masters, Masters 25, everything was just tanking. So the money stopped buying new Magic and everything flowed to reserve lists. So again, many people will argue, many patrons and many of you guys will comment, that Wizards is usually the person, directly or indirectly, accidentally, Maybe they just trip on it and she just happens to land there and give you a hug with her mouth. It's one of those things where maybe she just tripped and landed there. But historically, Wizards is the individual entity that tends to accidentally, direct or indirectly, spark these bull markets. Memes and jokes aside on this channel, they are the number one leading indicator of kind of what's going to be hot and what's going to be not. I report on it, which tends to amplify the signal, but unlike the previous buyout cycle with reserved lists and single cards and vintage, this time around, I still buy collections. I still have, I'd say between 2, 3, 4 collections a week that are coming in. Sometimes sealed boxes, old graded cards, old raw cards, as you saw in some videos, some complete sets of vintage Magic, different things. And again, I don't publish and share a lot of the transactions because I feel it's too much. I don't want the whole channel to just be you guys seeing the volume of like the position building. I feel it just doesn't have a good taste. I like to show you a little bit, but I like to go back to just market discussions. And again, most people are attracted to news. They want to hear drama, negative things, news cycles, and things like that. It's fun to look at old cards, but I don't want to flood the channel with. Same thing with box openings. We're getting ready to bring back the box opening cycle, but people like to watch them and relax, but I don't want to remove the discussions. It's supposed to be in addition to, not in place of, different video topics. So this time around, I haven't really been a part of this buyout cycle. I didn't see it coming. I didn't call the bottom. I didn't tell you guys about it, months in advance. Unlike the 2023 bottom for all new Magic and collector boxes, I nailed that shit. I'm proud of that one. But this one I didn't call at all. But the thing is, you have to remember, folks, this particular bull market in bronze sealed boxes, to most of you all, and including me, it still doesn't feel that great. And that's, again, usually a sign that the bull market is the real deal, because you kind of are skeptical. It doesn't feel like it. You have that pessimism. Like even for me, okay? I go back and I say, oh, wow, okay, what do I have? 300 boxes of, Eldritch Moon. Oh, look, Eldritch Moon finally went from $130 a box. It's been flat for, I don't even know, 7, 8 years, okay? And now all of a sudden it tripled. I always made fun of Eldritch Moon and Shadows because it was like, well, I'm holding half a pallet, and, it's never really done anything. It's been dead money for 8 years, and, obviously I could have put in the S&P 500 and, tripled my money in 8 to 10 years. I could have, God knows what kind of return that would have been in Bitcoin 8 years ago. But you see what I'm saying? So it feels bad. But then suddenly you have these moments where it's like, okay, well, if you have 300 boxes of Eldritch, it was a toxic shit position. I sold to patrons for $80. My cost was, back in the day, I think $78 before Wizards price increases. So after shipping and fees, I sold it for patrons to $79.99. And now, if it went to 300, I guess in 8 years, what is that? A 300 to 400% return in 8 years? So that is off the chart amazing, but it doesn't feel that way. That's the crazy thing about this stuff, is that even when we have these series of events unfold, depending on the velocity, the rate of change, or if you guys are options, gambling, derivative, crazy stock people, the Greeks, it depends, just the time. Like if you're a degenerate options gambler, you'll know what theta means. Theta is usually time decay. And, it feels different depending on how quick it moves over a certain period of time. So when someone like me is overanalyzing and staring at this stuff week after week, month after month, then it turns into a year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I've been looking at a product like Shadows or Eldritch Moon or something, or Khans of Tarkir, or Fate Reforged, or Dragons. I haven't checked those. I'm sure those are spiking too. There's a point where even I get very just like, desensitized, bitter. I get very short and, snappy and abrasive. Even I'm just like, oh, look, year 8, month 2, day 3, Eldritch Moon, $130. My money's been tied up for 8 years, and I've made 2% a year. And then suddenly, on that giant chart of no returns, you have a 300% move. And then you go, oh my God. And then that 8-year chart that's up 300%, well, you just averaged over 8 years. What'd you average? 30% a year? 20% a year? Depending on where your starting point is. And suddenly, making 20 to 30% return a year is so absurdly high. It's skeptical whether it's even legitimate. And of course, then the people will comment, well, you can't sell it. There's no liquidity. Rudy, I have to pay fees. And to those Timmies, I can tell you should be a big boy. Because no matter what asset class you're in life, you're going to have fees. I don't know why, for some reason, the card world, the noobs and the noob sabots, the Timmies are so obsessed with fees when they sell something. Or when they, if I buy your collection and I PayPal you, and PayPal takes, 2.9%. And there are people that freak out and they go crazy. And it's funny to me how, in the card world, how agitated people are. Now, if I go to real estate and I take one of my rental houses and I sell, a $500,000 rental property in Florida, and I hire a realtor, or I go with a big investment firm, some BlackRock, Blackstone, some whatever, hedge fund, wherever. First of all, they're going to give me, if I go with the investor, they're going to give me 80% of the market value. If I sell it on my own for full market price, I got to fix it all up, put money into it, and then I'm going to have to hire a realtor, which is probably going to charge me, 5, 6%? So if I sell a $500,000 house in Florida and I hire a realtor to market it, okay, well, I'm going to lose $25,000 in commissions and fees and everything. And then along the way, for the last X amount of years of holding the real estate, I've had to pay repairs, maintenance, property taxes, insurance, homeowners associations, lawn maintenance, pesticide, all kinds of other things. But all of that conversation is very normal in real estate because everybody expects a certain rate of growth for the value of the house, and you can raise the rents along the way, and you can push your rental, you can make the rent money go up and squeeze the tenant and all this crazy shit, right? But when we go to collectibles, it is by far the most childish, fee-sensitive, interesting marketplace. And I'm used to it. I'm pretty desensitized to it because I'm used to the same song and dance on it. But I always just find it intriguing. And now, with the bull market very strong, I expect that going into 2025, you'll see a lot more people telling you not to buy into Magic or Pokemon or One Piece or Flesh and Blood or, Weiss or Sorcery or maybe the new Disney Lorcana or Star Wars Unlimited. You're going to have people that are going to be very negative on any card game. And, historically, the odds are very favorable for anybody in this industry right now. If you just simply don't leverage up and you don't have debt and you kind of approach things pretty calmly, there's a lot of opportunity right now. And I think 2025 is going to be equal or greater than as good as 2024 was. The difference about next year, reflecting on what we went through this year, the difference, I think, is going to be next year, everybody's expecting it. So it's going to be different. All Pokemon booster boxes are going to start out at $120, $130, $140, $150. I know MSRP is $160 for Pokemon. Suddenly MSRP matters to people. I don't fucking know why. So I think that's the first thing. Like in the world of Pokemon, new people to the market are going to actually be more successful than long-term Pokemon people because they're going to be more accepting of today's stores selling a new Pokemon set for $120, $30, $40, even MSRP $160, versus the people who were around years ago used to fire sale prices of Pokemon boxes at $89 and $99. I mean, I did it to myself. Scarlet Violet, SVO SVO 1, 2, 3, and 4, even SVO 5? I think SVO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, was it even 7? I think it was 1 through 6. I'd have to check my patron stuff. I offered all these Pokemon sets by the case, even multi-cases, all to get patrons the opportunity to get even down to like $95, $96 a box. And if you paid on a 2% cashback credit card, which you should be, that adjusts your cost base to like $94 shipped for cases of Pokemon. And, it's funny when you do that kind of stuff, how lack of interest people will show you. And now that things are crazy, and I have to limit everything to a couple boxes, people are going to, prices are high, and they're going to go higher. I reflect back on the Surging Sparks launch, when the amount of emotion was slamming the market and slamming me and patrons. I lost a ton of patrons at the time because I told everybody, no big orders, and yeah, I'm going to sell mine for about $138, $139 for Surging Sparks. And I was met with a lot of hate. But I knew if I just swam through the hate, held my breath, I knew post-release, I told everybody Surging Sparks was going to head to 150 to 200 very, very quickly, especially as we approach the Black Friday situation. So, obviously, once that happened, the people who already closed their account and left, they're blocked and they can't come back anyways. And it kind of creates a stronger customer base and a stronger Rudy patron army. And it creates more, the people who stick around tend to be more stable-minded and, smarter people. And it's funny now because now that Surging Sparks is like $215 plus tax, Prismatic Evolution is going to be the same thing. Prismatic's going to come out, ETBs are going to be over 100. And if for some reason someone's stupid enough to sell you Prismatic Evolution's ETBs for $79, $89, or $99 shipped or anything like that, I recommend you buy it. I don't care who you're buying from. If it's an LGS, if it's Amazon.com, Jeff Bezos' penis rocket store, anyone who's going to sell it to you under market, you should buy it. It is what it is. You could probably open it and just flip the single cards, That's kind of where things are at. So back to Magic. Reflecting on this year, I think I can sum up this whole video and this whole year as this was a year of doubt. It was a year of disbelief. And we're going to end 2024 as a year of just acceptance. A year that, because we went through the year where things started to get better and people were skeptical. They didn't believe it. Dead cat bounce. It's all crap. Big crash coming. That doubt, that skepticism, stocks, collectibles, Bitcoin, whatever you're following. It's all the same. And as the year progressed, not only did it hold, it got stronger. Then we finally got past this, polarizing, you're supposed to hate everybody election. And it's over with. And suddenly, it's like somebody unchained the market and everything just ran around crazy. It got crazy, man. And now here we are, ending 2024 in a year of disbelief and acceptance. People just are so the reaction I get all the time from you all and patrons and people commenting is just, Rudy, I can't believe how much things have changed and how much happened. And don't forget, support me. Buy a t-shirt, link below, eBay. Alpha Investment shirt, the back. Did you stay the course? Did you reap the rewards? Buy a shirt. I'll make $2 to $8 on you. And it's, that's really where it is, and that's, I feel like now people are believing it's real. And that leads me to my closing comments on this video, which is, no, all these things happening with sealed magic, there is absolutely zero evidence. And I'm going to go ahead and put the Rudy name on the line. Is that a thing? Is that, okay. These spikes in Bronze Era sealed boxes, okay? Khans of Tarkir, Fate Reforged, Dragons of Tarkir, Battle for Zen, Oath of the Gatewatch, Shadows Eldritch, Amonkhet Hour, Ixalan Rivals, Conspiracy 1, Conspiracy 2, Battle Bond. I'm already at 15. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a lot. What am I missing? Okay, I've already named 15 sets. Let's go with it. Dominaria? Did I say Dominaria? 16? We're not including master sets or any supplementals or commander. Just that. Whatever. So almost 20 sets. Folks, I'm not even talking old high-end Magic. Because vintage Magic, everything's dead. Nobody wants it except me. I'm telling you right now, again, Cons of Tarkir, the infamous thing that started this YouTube channel, Rudy's a Con, remember? One of the first videos on this channel. That video single-handedly got me off the ground because of Reddit. I love you. I love you forever. Welcome to Costco. I fucking love you. Cons of Tarkir in 2024, 2025 should not be a $130 box. So to see it adjust, Kaladesh should not be a $300 box in 2025. Amonkhet, the Egyptian set with cards that are goofy, you can't read, all these things, should not be, it dropped to a low of like 150, 170 in the crash. These are items that were not properly priced. So this time around, we're not seeing a reserve list garbage card from Ice Age go from 50 cents to $100, 100x, and nobody wanted it. And no one's going to pay $100 for a garbage Ice Age reserve list card. That has no value. That has a print and run of, 100,000. Nobody cares. It's going to retrace. But I'm telling you, Kaladesh boxes are not going back to 300. Okay? Like, Cons of Tarkir is not going back to 140. Okay? Aether Revolt's not going back to like 129. Okay? Like Conspiracy 1, Conspiracy 2 isn't going back to like 139 or something stupid. Like, these prices were mispriced. And I've been waiting a very, very long time for this to happen. And I'll be honest, I even got to a point, because it's been 8 to 10 years, where I started to think I was wrong fully, and none of these were ever going to go up. There were many moments I've had conversations with, friends and family, and I've said, the way Wizards is going and how they destroy everything, and they're just so toxic, and maybe everybody's right, and all these sealed boxes, they are just going to be, we're going to be 10 years in the future, and these boxes are going to be $99, right? Right? Even I was accepting that, I made the little pan around the warehouse video, and I show you guys, oh, Rudy's heavy bags. Oh, Rudy, look at all these Commander Legends. Look at all these War of the Spark. Look at all these Ikoria. Look at all these Throne. Look at all these M21. Look at these Theros. It's all 99, 109, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years old, 7 years old. And, even I was making videos. Even I was just like, oh, look, here we go. Should have bought Pokemon. Should have bought the S&P 500. And then life has a funny way of just fixing it. So I hope you all had a beautiful 2024. Hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a beautiful Festivus for the rest of us. And I appreciate you all sticking with me as I approach a whole decade on YouTube. That's freaky, man. The longest running, largest Patreon account. There's larger Patreon accounts out there, but they're all chicks doing naked porn stuff. I think I have the largest Patreon account that's actually not doing adult content. Except Rudy's Feet Finder? Should we do Feet Finder? And, I appreciate you guys staying with me. I appreciate everything. I expect, if you want to be a patron, I'm sure now to the end of the year, because at the end of the year, I'm going to lose it. We're going to shed some patrons who are going to jump out before the billing cycle, and there should be some slots if you want to grab someone else's slot. I'm sure there'll be some slots that pop up, and we have that typical cycle. And I encourage you all to be aware, 2025 is going to be a behemoth. I expect Magic to experience numbers and growth and prices. And when this Final Fantasy and Marvel hits, and Magic announces these serialized things, and the rumors of new one-of-one serialized Magic cards, I'm warning you all right now. The collector box print runs are so tight, these things are going to be insane. The same thing with Pokemon. Prismatic, these new sets. There's apparently new Team Rocket sets. There's these other sets I'm hearing rumors about, but I'm not sure. I do recommend, even if you don't like Rudy, you want to buy from Rudy for $138, Surging Spark scam, even if you want to buy from other people, even if you're paying anything below MSRP, because that's a thing again, any new Pokemon release, under $150, under $160, including shipping and taxes, I don't think is a ripoff. I don't think you should bash LGSs for selling the new Pokemon set for $159. You know, it's been a long time that these LGSs were able to actually sell product and not be embarrassed at selling at losses and eating ramen noodles. And this is how the markets work. They swing, and, you know, you go through good and bad times depending on what side of the coin you're on. And I think Flesh and Blood's going to have a blowout year of 2025. We have Gem Keeper Rudy stuff. We have the puzzle launching. So we have special things happening over the next couple months. We're still celebrating the Flesh and Blood 5th year anniversary we have the Curse of Monarch bundles coming up here. We've got some new Arcane Rising 1st edition specialty stuff coming in Q1 of 2025. Where it's going to be, if you're kind of the high roller, with a nice group of slabbed original high-end promos, old school playmat we're talking really cool shit. I don't have a lot of them, but we can, try to get at least 100 bundles or something. But, we're going to do some really fun things. And even also, I'm going to jump over to Weiss real quick. Be aware, there is some insane Weiss releases coming. And yes, we've got Quintuplets Premium Box coming next. That's going to be a home run. And yes, folks, there's a couple smaller Weiss releases. I'm going to be very blunt with you. If you don't know what Nikki is, or Nikke, or Nikke, it is going to be Azure Lane and Bunko Babes on steroids. And apparently, I'm hearing rumors about hand-signed cards with serialization from the voice actress, these women. It's going to be insane. I'm warning you all right up front. Okay. And yes, we will have a sorcery sale coming in a couple months. We're working on it now with Arthurian Legends, with slabbed and graded sorcery alpha cards as a nice free giveaway. And some people may get lucky with some other secret basement items. Some graded slab Taco Bell packets that are redeemable for things. Maybe some sorcery sample cards. And some other secret basement redeemable things. So some fun things out there. Thanks again, everybody, for being supportive. Thank you all for the patron army. Thanks for watching this channel. It's a good time. It's the end of the year. It's a time of reflection. To look back on market conditions, your own life, how it went, how we got here. What are the things that you regret? What are the things you got wrong? And remember, folks, is Rudy's closing statement. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay for people to make fun of you. But don't live with the regrets. Like I said, it's okay to buy things and they go down. Buy a stock, it goes down. Buy a collectible, buy Bitcoin, and it tanks back to zero. It's okay to do that kind of stuff. And it'd be wrong because you tried. Manage your risk, but don't live your life with regrets. So as you get older and you look back at 2024 and you said, man, what if I had done that? What if I had done this? What if I had tried that? That's the dangerous shit, folks. And as always, folks, remember, markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Thank you for an amazing 2024. We will end it on the greatest, most beautiful penis ever.